These are the best hair growth oils for all hair types. So if you want to grow your hair longer, fuller, thicker, and stronger, watch this video to the end because I'm going to show you all the oils that help you really grow hair, meaning they boost hair growth, but also help you retain the length that you're growing. Because if you're breaking the hair that you're growing, you're not going to get anywhere. Today, I'll start with the most effective oils for length retention because I think this is where a lot of people have the most issue, including me. A lot of people deal with breakage, and the reason why your hair is usually breaking most of the time, aside from mechanical manipulation, it is that your ends are so dry and brittle and they keep breaking off. So, here, essential oils are not really going to do much for you. What you need are carrier oils. This can be an oil mix, it can be an individual oil. So, let me give you the first one. The first one is my favorite carrier oil of all time, and it is avocado oil. Avocado oil is perfect for all hair types because it is like a medium density oil. It's not super thick, it's not too light either. It is just perfect. It is rich in fatty acids and antioxidants, and because it's not too heavy, it doesn't weigh the hair down, but it still coats the hair nicely and helps nourish and soften the hair while still maintaining shine. Another great thing about avocado oil, pure 100% avocado oil, is not only can you put it on your hair, it can also help your hair grow if you ingest it, okay? This will help on the hair health side. And so if you ingest it, meaning if you cook with it or put it like in a salad, anything like that, as long as you ingest it, it will also help you because it has vitamin D, vitamin E, and biotin, which is essential for hair growth. The next carrier oil is my new favorite oil, and you would have heard me talking about this if you watched my video on Japanese hair growth secrets, and I mentioned that there's one oil I have been dying to try, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and this is camellia oil. Now, this oil is absolutely amazing. Japanese people and a lot of other Asian people love to use camellia oil for everything, for their hair, for their skin. They ingest it for their body. I couldn't wait to try it. I finally tried it and I am in love. It just hydrates the hair like no other. But remember that oil is not a moisturizer. So if your hair is dry and you put oil on top, you just make it even more dry with an oily finish to it. So it helps nourish the hair. It can give temporary moisture, which is just for like maybe a couple hours, maybe a day. But back to the benefits of camellia oil. It is rich in oleic acid and linoleic acid, which are fatty acids, and it's very rich in antioxidants, which really helps maintain the natural color and luster of your hair and the health of your hair. It helps restore your hair's sheen. It really softens the hair. Like I can attest to this. You can feel a difference. It also nourishes hair and prevents split ends as well as improves the appearance of the split ends that you already have. But remember, no matter what the promise is from any brand or any product, split ends cannot be repaired. You can only improve the way they look. But the only way to repair a split end is to cut it off, and your hair would thank you. It would do so much better. Okay, so now for how to use them exactly. These two are both carrier oils, which means you can use them the exact same way. You can use both or you can use one. You don't have to use both. You don't have to mix them. Just find one that seems like it's your favorite. You can test it out, get a little small amount, and then if it works, you can go ahead and use it. One of the most popular ways you can use it is as a base oil, which means you can use this oil as your mixing agent. So let's say you want to use some essential oils, you want something to boost hair growth, something to use on your scalp. One of these oils can be the base for that oil, so you can mix it into this oil. The second way to use these oils is for length retention, meaning you put this on your actual hair shaft, from the entire hair shaft if you're doing some kind of hot oil treatment, or just on the ends of your hair. And this will really give your hair some nice slip. It will prevent single strand knots. It will prevent tangling. It will help your hair and your ends stay hydrated because your ends are usually so dry. So when you hydrate them with the moisturizer, you want to go over with an oil and keep going over with an oil to maintain that moisture there, and it makes a massive difference. Okay, so now have I convinced you? Maybe. Now you're wondering, where do I actually buy this oil? Can I just walk anywhere and say, can I have a bottle of camellia oil? Avocado oil is definitely much easier to find. You can just go to your regular grocery store or your health food store. In the oil section where there's 100% natural oils, you'll be able to find avocado oil. But if you don't find it there, you can find it at my favorite place, which is Amazon. It'll be listed in the description box below. I'll list some options just so you can check them out. The second one is camellia oil. Camellia oil is more difficult to find. So it would depend where you live. Your best bet is still to check your health food store first. I have found my new favorite hair growth oil, and camellia oil is very high on the list. So it's mostly camellia oil. And this is the Kerastase Elixir Ultime. So this is just to tell you that if I'm telling you that the really good oil is avocado oil or camellia oil, you don't have to go and buy the 100% natural one too. You can look for hair products that are formulated for whatever your hair type is, and then find the oils, look in the ingredients list, and just see that the oil that you prefer is very high up on the list, like in the top 5 of the list of ingredients in the oil. If it is avocado oil or camellia oil and your hair likes it, your hair will probably like it. So I am in love. The Kerastase Elixir Ultime is the only oil that I've ever used in my hair that almost makes it feel like I have a completely new head of hair. Like the smoothness, the shine, the hydration, my hair just feels completely amazing. And I attribute it to mostly the camellia oil, but also the formulation of the product. So I also will list the Kerastase Elixir Ultime as well as plain camellia oil. I will list them in the description below from Amazon. But now let's get to essential oils. Essential oils are my favorite oils because essential oils are the ones that offer you the most drastic results. So if I use something like camellia oil every single day, like I do, you will notice a big difference in the way your hair texture feels, in length retention, but it's not going to actually boost your rate of hair growth or promote your hair to grow any faster or restore any dormant follicles. It's not going to do any of that. Essential oils are the ones that do this, and they do make a drastic difference. My first one is one of my favorites, and I think this is the essential oil I have been using for the longest time. This is peppermint oil because it's one of the strongest oils for scalp stimulation. You can physically feel it. It's like you brushed your teeth on your scalp. It's like super tingly. And then because of that stimulating feeling on the scalp, it also increases blood flow to the area. And that tingling sensation also helps widen your blood vessels to allow more blood to go to your scalp. Why is this beneficial? Because it sends a lot of oxygen in that blood to your follicles, which are at the base of your scalp, and it will help stimulate them. Another amazing almost side effect is that it has a very strong smell, which is very pleasant to most people. So if you have another oil that you're using or a product in your hair that you don't really like the smell of, this can really mask the scent. It also improves thickness in your hair by one, promoting the thickness of your individual hair strand to make it grow to its full potential, because sometimes when your hair is unhealthy and weak and your follicles are sort of damaged, your hair might grow out maybe even half the thickness that it can actually grow out because your follicle is damaged. So this can help boost and revive that follicle to make sure that your hair grows out to its full potential. It can also wake up dormant follicles. Now, here's one thing to note. We are all born with a certain number of follicles on your head, and you cannot increase the number of follicles that you are born with. However, some of us and many of us have a lot of dormant follicles. So you're not creating new follicles, they're just there and they're just sort of dormant. The peppermint oil can actually help wake up those dormant follicles. So now you actually have literally more hairs on your head, and that's how it makes your hair thicker. The next one is my absolute favorite essential oil. And if you've watched any single video on this channel before, you know what I'm going to say. It is, say it with me, rosemary oil. It has been compared to a 2% minoxidil, and it has been shown to be just as effective or even more effective with little to no side effects. Now, rosemary oil is one of the only essential oils that can actually help boost the nerve growth. It also prevents premature graying, promotes hair thickness as well. It also stimulates the scalp. It just doesn't have a strong physical feeling like peppermint oil, but it still has a strong stimulation factor to your scalp. It also has anti-inflammatory properties, which means that your follicles are going to be in great shape. It can also prevent or even slow down hair loss. It really helps with the dry, itchy scalp because it is also antibacterial. I usually use both peppermint and rosemary oil together. However, you only need to use one Find the one that works for you and then stick to it, or at least test it out to see if it's working out for you before you try something else. So, how to use? There are actually multiple ways to use essential oils, but these are my favorite and most recommended ways. The first one is for people who hate oil and hate the feeling of oil in their hair, or they feel like they have extremely oily hair and they don't want to use any other oil. I would suggest you use these in your shampoo stage. So when you are shampooing your hair, on the second wash, mostly you should have your hair clean in only 2 washes, meaning your hair is not exceptionally dirty and you're not using a terrible shampoo, okay? So first wash, get all the gunk, get out the dirt in your hair, wash it out. On your second wash, get your shampoo in the palm of your hand and just drop about 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil or peppermint essential oil. Mix it into your shampoo, but don't lather it. You want the lather to happen on your scalp. So just mix it until it's combined. Lather your scalp and make sure that you really massage it in. Do not scratch because essential oils can have side effects, especially if you have open cuts or anything like that. So do not scratch your scalp. Just lather it and massage your scalp and then let it sit for like a minute or two, just so that those oils can kind of seep into your scalp. Then wash it out and proceed with your wash day like you didn't add anything new. The second way is my most favorite way, and this is to actually use the oil on my scalp. So, what you need to do is to get one of these oils and dilute them into a carrier oil, like the ones I mentioned before. So, for example, you can have avocado oil, which is in here, with about 20 drops of rosemary oil. Mix it, shake it up, put it on your scalp, and you can either do this on the day when you wash your hair, put it on your scalp, and then when it's time to wash your hair, maybe 3 to 4 hours later, you can wash it out. Or you can do the exact same thing but do it at night and then sleep with it in your hair and then wash your hair when you wake up in the morning. Or you can do what I do, especially if you don't have oily hair, which is just oil your scalp a couple times a week, 1 to 3 times a week. Just put a little bit of oil on your scalp, massage it in, and then just leave it in. You don't have to wash your hair or do anything. You just keep whatever hair washing schedule you have and go ahead and wash your hair. Okay, so where to buy is the same place as the carrier oils. They are more important tips and disclaimers before you go ahead and use these oils. So watch this first before you run out and start making these oils, okay? The first one, always patch test, especially essential oils on a part of your body that's not exposed. So like don't patch test it here if you know you're gonna wear a shirt like this. I would suggest you patch test it like behind your neck, behind your ear, on the inside of your arm, and then just put a little bit on that patch and then just leave it for like the entire day and see if you get any kind of irritation like redness, itchiness, a rash, anything like that, because essential oils are extremely potent. Now, chances of you having a reaction are low. However, you don't want to get a severe reaction like all over your scalp when you could have just done a patch test. The next tip is always do a scalp massage every single time you oil your scalp. It will almost double the efficacy of any oil that you use because you are adding added physical stimulation, including to the nourishing ingredients from the oils. So make sure you always do a scalp massage whenever you oil your hair, but do it correctly, because if you don't know how to do a scalp massage correctly, you will get hair damage and maybe even severe hair breakage. And also, talking about this not being a miracle product, if every other part of your hair care routine is bad, this will either do nothing or it will do something, but you also undo what it's doing. For example, if you comb your hair extremely violently, if you have a lot of split ends and you refuse to cut them off, if you have a terrible diet, if you don't drink water, all the things that can cause your hair to be bad, adding this oil is not doing anything. Thinking this oil is going to outdo every other bad thing you're doing to your hair is like going and ordering an extra large pizza with a 2 liter bottle of Coca Cola, drinking that and finishing it all by yourself, and then having a salad on the side and being like, I had a salad, so it's healthy. And the last thing to note when it comes to essential oils is something that sparked a lot of debate, especially on sites like TikTok, where it is barely regulated and everyone just gives advice on whatever they want. This is never use an essential oil directly on your scalp. Listen up. Just because you don't have side effects today doesn't mean you won't have side effects tomorrow. Essential oils are extremely potent. Some of them, like peppermint oil, have a more physical feeling, meaning if you put it directly on your scalp and you have a sensitive scalp, you might actually feel like it's burning you. So that's going to scare you. But when you use something like rosemary oil, which is pretty mild, or something like lavender oil, where you actually feel nothing when you put it on your scalp, you can use it for months and not see any side effects. And then maybe 2 years from now, or you're just wondering, like, I just feel really like lethargic all of a sudden. Like you just have some random thing and you won't even think of the oil because you've been using it for months. Nothing has ever gone wrong. You've been in perfect health. So a year from now or months from now, when you start getting side effects, you won't even know what's causing it. Also, it can even cause a sensitivity to it. And then next thing, you can't even use it at all. So please be smart. Always dilute it into a carrying agent like shampoo or an oil. Now, if you're thinking, well, I have very fine, extremely thin hair, or I've got super thick hair, I'm making this a series. I wanted to start with this video, which can cater to all hair types. But moving forward, if you subscribe, you will see that I will continue to post the rest of the videos in this series where I will be catering to every single hair type, to thick, thin, medium, and so on. So make sure you hit the subscribe button by hitting my face right there if you did it in the beginning, and watch the 2 videos on the side of the screen right here. Learn how to do a scalp massage correctly, and I will automatically link the next video in the series right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!